The history of North America has always been one of transplanted roots and new beginnings. Today, more than ever, our cities reflect a tremendous diversity of backgrounds and cultures. This diversity is also reflected in the workplace. Over the past few decades, social and economic changes have also dramatically altered the places where we work. Today, there are an increasing number of women being employed in all levels of business. Added to this is a growing emphasis on flexibility in the marketplace. Part-time workers, often spanning a wide range of ages and backgrounds, have brought more changes to the workplace. Diversity in the workplace means that today, if you're employed, you'll probably be working alongside people that are different from you. Being different doesn't have anything to do with being better or being worse. It just means being different. Being aware that differences exist and being prepared to be flexible in your own attitudes are absolutely critical in creating a sense of harmony in the workplace. Hi, my name is Rob. I've been working with Cineplex to educate and increase awareness with all employees on issues of harassment. Today in the world and in the workplace, change is inevitable, and coping with it is easier for some than for others. Problems occur when people have difficulties adapting to change or accepting differences. Sometimes people cope in a negative way, by harassing others. To some people, change is a threatening thing. To others, they may be unable or unwilling to change. Some may lack sensitivity in their relationships with others and have trouble seeing their behavior as being wrong or inappropriate. And others have not kept pace with change and have outdated attitudes and behavior.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Got that right?
Oh, hurt me now.
What's holding up this bikini up here? Jeez.
Muscle.
Hi guys.
How's it going?
Pretty good. What are you guys looking at?
Art.
We're just looking at how the sun sets on the beach.
You know guys, you are at work, and first off, what if a guest sees you? I mean, they might be offended. And secondly, I'm personally offended by this.
Are you jealous? I think she's jealous. Okay, look at her. Now look at her. Whatever.
I don't have to put up with this.
Forget about her.
Wow. Oh, beautiful.
At Cineplex, we believe that it's an individual's fundamental right to be treated with dignity and respect. We also believe that every employee has the right to work in an environment free from harassment of any form. These beliefs form the basis for our company's policy towards harassment in the workplace. A policy backed up by the government's view that harassment, discrimination, and intimidation of all forms is illegal and contravenes human rights legislation. This video will help you understand your rights and responsibilities under the company policy. It will also help you recognize workplace harassment and clarify some of the confusion and misinformation associated with it. Harassment of another person is intolerable in any situation, but our focus here is when it occurs in the workplace. By workplace, we mean any location where the business of our company is being carried out. This includes not only the theaters and offices, but also any work-related social gatherings or training sessions. Basically, wherever employee conduct may affect work relationships. Defining exactly what harassment is tends to be where people get confused. They get it mixed up with political correctness or see it as ambiguous and open to misinterpretation. So what exactly is harassment? Harassment is basically any unwelcome or irritating comments or conduct. It may be behavior that is subtle, repeated, or of a harassing nature. It can also be an abuse of power in a way that embarrasses, taunts, or demeans employees. A common misconception about harassment is that it only involves fellow workers. But since our company deals with the general public, harassment may also involve customers. Another misunderstanding about workplace harassment is that it only involves sex. In fact, harassment is rarely about sex, it's more about power. By harassing someone, you attack their self-worth, their dignity. Although inappropriate or unwelcome sexual conduct or comments are often used to do this, Other offensive behavior, such as discrimination, racial comments, or hurtful personal remarks, are also used. But what is considered unwelcome or inappropriate behavior? In any given working environment, our relationships play a major role. A person's behavior can be considered to fall into three main categories. These categories are unacceptable, acceptable, and offensive. So what is acceptable behavior? Let's look at some examples of behavior that is considered acceptable. For instance, although acts of chivalry, like opening doors or pulling out chairs, may seem outdated, they're okay for some people and are not considered harassment. No one will be found guilty of harassment for performing an act of chivalry.
Peter, here are the cups you asked for.
Oh, great. Thanks, Kim.
I've noticed you've lost some weight.
Well, I've been trying to make it into the gym a little more often now.
Yeah, you can notice you look really good.
Well, thanks very much. You're the first person who's noticed.
Well, you look really good.
Thank you.
I'll just put the
Compliments,
cups over there.
given as compliments and taken as compliments, are also acceptable.
Hey,
Oh, hey.
what are you doing tonight?
Not much. Just have a couple people over at my house, you know. Just watch movies or something. Do you want to come?
Sure. But,
Flirting is a
my
fact
mom-
of life when men and women are together. And as long as it is between two consenting adults, which means it is acceptable to both of them, it is not considered harassment.
I'll talk to you about it later.
Let's take a look at the type of behavior that is unacceptable. By that we mean behavior that is clearly unwelcome or inappropriate. In fact, it may very well be illegal. Incidents involving rape, sexual assault, or physical assault should be immediately passed on to the police for criminal prosecution. Other unacceptable behavior, such as sexual blackmail or reprisals, involve the misuse of power or authority and should be reported to your manager, supervisor, or to your Human Resources Department immediately. But what about behavior that is not clearly acceptable nor clearly unacceptable? Well, this middle area, the gray area, is where most people get confused about harassment. The whole area is called offensive behavior, but it could just as well be called in bad taste or bad manners. Let's take a look at some types of offensive behavior. Offensive behavior includes off-color jokes, comments, suggestive innuendo, displays of posters or pictures, gestures, bodily contact, and leering. Now, you might be saying, what, no fooling around? No jokes? No witty comments? Not all behavior in this gray area is unacceptable. Some will still be okay. The question is, what will make something in the gray area unacceptable? And the answer is, it depends.
Enjoy the rest of the show. Welcome to Cineplex. May I help you, ma'am?
Oh, no, thanks. No, I'm waiting for her.
Can I get you anything else?
Actually, can I get a...
I'd like to keep the line moving. I'd love to help you.
No, that's all right. I don't mind waiting. Thanks.
Excuse me, ma'am. Is there a problem here?
No, I don't think so. I'm just waiting for her.
That'll
to
be
free.
$6.50.
This gentleman would be more than happy to help you.
Listen, can I be perfectly honest with you? I just think I'd feel a little more comfortable, you know, with somebody that looked a little more like me. You know what I mean?
In this scenario, the manager was close by and able to assist. However, if your manager is not present and a guest behaves inappropriately, you should advise your manager as soon as possible. So when does offensive behavior become unacceptable? During an investigation into a harassment claim, 3 key phrases, legal-sounding words, are used to determine if behavior is harassment or not. These words are direction, poisoned environment, and notice.
Oh, no, thanks. No,
Direction includes comments or conduct that are directed towards a specific person or group of persons to see or hear. In this case, the comments, which were of a racial nature, were overheard by the employee and resulted in a personal offense to their dignity and self-worth. When offensive conduct or comments are repeated in a way that creates a hostile or intimidating work environment for a fellow worker, the environment is said to be poisoned. In this case, provocative pictures and comments help create a poisoned environment. But things like sexual banter, racial jokes, or even pranks can also poison a workplace. A third phrase, critical to determining if behavior is harassing, is notice. That means persisting after being informed that conduct or comments are offensive.
Look, you want to go out tonight after work?
Sorry, Peter, I can't. I have homework, so I have to go home.
Well, what about tomorrow?
Actually, I'm working tomorrow, so I can't either.
Well, a movie on the weekend.
Look, Peter, I don't want you to take this personally. It's not that I don't like you. I just don't want to go out with you.
What are you talking about? I see the way you look at me. I know you want to go out with me. We'll have a great time. Let's go.
Look, Peter, you're making me feel uncomfortable. I already said I don't want to go out with you.
You know, you're really missing out on something special here.
Look, I said no.
Notice can be given directly to the harassing person, or it can be given indirectly to a manager, supervisor, or your human resources department. Once informed, the manager, supervisor, or human resources rep has the legal obligation to take action and investigate the victim's claim. Ensuring a harassment-free workplace is a management responsibility. It is also important to note that giving a person notice that their behavior is unacceptable to you is the first best approach to dealing with potential harassment situations. These three phrases, direction, poisoned environment, and notice, are worth keeping in mind. They'll help you to know if someone's behavior, maybe even your own, is moving from offensive to unacceptable. Now, you might be wondering, what if my behavior was unintentional? I had no idea I was offending someone. Unintentional harassment is often caused by ignorance. When a harassment claim is being investigated, the intent is not what counts. It's the resulting effect on the victim that is important. However, if the harassment is proven to be unintentional, it's certainly a lot easier to correct. Probably your greatest asset in making sure that your behavior is not offensive to someone is your own common sense. Here are some down-to-earth suggestions for keeping your behavior in the acceptable range. Flirting in the workplace does happen, but recognize that it can lead to problems. In your comments, or if you're complimenting someone, don't refer to body parts. And when you're joking around, don't use humor that is sexual or racial. If you're not sure about a type of behavior, ask yourself these questions. Would you still make the comment or engage in the same behavior if your partner, boyfriend, or girlfriend were listening? Or would you want your partner, mother, father, son, or daughter exposed to similar comments or conduct? These guidelines are really helpful in determining what behavior in the gray area is harassment and what is not. In this scenario, you get to be the investigator. Watch it carefully and make a mental note of any behavior that might be considered harassing.
Michael, did you need something?
No, I was just admiring your uniform. You know, I've been working here for quite a while now, and I've seen a lot of people come and go, but I have to say, you look the best in that uniform out of anyone. Honestly, the way you fill it out, your legs. You know, it reminds me of this joke that I heard. This guy, he goes into a bar, and he sees this woman. She's got huge, you know, she's wearing this
This is
dress.
gonna be disgusting. I don't want to hear it.
Okay. You know something else, though? I've been noticing that you're really tense. You need to relax a little more. A massage really helps, I find.
Enough!
Okay. Hey, maybe we should get together on the weekend. I could give you a full body rub down. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Think about it.
Now, if you were unable to see anything wrong with his actions and comments, I would suggest that you rewind the tape right now and see it again from the beginning. Let's take a look at the scenario again. Right off the top, that look is more than a stare. It's leering. His remarks about her uniform are not compliments, but have crossed the line. The joke he tells her is of a sexual nature, and by touching her shoulders, his behavior is inappropriate.
Enough!
Her response is clear and direct. She is giving him notice in no uncertain terms. For just a moment, put yourself in place of the woman in the last scenario. What would you do? What should you do? Well, again, it depends. Putting a person on notice, as this woman has done, is an informal but highly effective way of dealing with behavior you consider to be inappropriate. It is a proactive strategy that reduces your chances of being victimized. If, however, the behavior persists, even after having been put on notice, your next step is to go directly to your manager or supervisor and inform them of the situation, or if you prefer, contact your human resources department. The point is, you have a responsibility to yourself and to your fellow employees to help create and maintain a harassment-free working environment. But if you're going to make a harassment claim, do it with the right motives. False accusations are not treated lightly by the company. Harassment is a costly experience, costly emotionally, monetarily, professionally, and personally. Jobs, reputations, and personal relationships can be affected, even if the claims are eventually proven to be unfounded. The question that you yourself must answer is this: is my behavior acceptable in today's workplace? If it isn't acceptable, is it worth the risk to my future career and reputation? It helps to take a step back from the specifics and look again at the big picture. A harassment-free workplace benefits everyone. It creates a healthy, positive environment, free of unnecessary stress and tension. Without harassment, we can all be free to do our jobs, be productive, and to feel good about ourselves. In order to help prevent workplace harassment, you don't have to memorize a list of do's and don'ts covering every possible situation. It's not about situations anyway, it's really about attitudes. Working together with people from diverse backgrounds and experiences works best when people use a simple rule of thumb. Treat others with the same dignity and respect with which you expect and want to be treated. Please be sure to complete the exercises in your Cineplex employee guide and workbook. Then, after your manager has reviewed it with you, keep it for a handy reference.